Welcome back to my channel, everyone. A few days ago, I showed a video where my HX edit and my POD Go edit had the real names of models in them instead of the fake names that Line 6 give them. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about that, and I promised that I would show you all how I did it, so that's what I'm here to do today. Standard disclaimer, this is how I did it. I don't necessarily recommend you do it, especially not if you're not used to poking around in your computer. And if you do decide to do it and you break something, it's not my responsibility and it's not my fault. Be good, people. I'm just showing you what I did here. That's it. So the first thing we're going to do here is to head over to my website, benvesco.com/store. You'll see here we have a Line 6 Helix menu and a POD Go menu. You hover over either one of those menus and you'll see Real Names Mod is on there. See, it's on the Helix menu. It's also on the POD Go menu. Doesn't matter which one you go to, they lead to the exact same page. Click on the Real Names Mod. That page will load up and we'll see here we are. So Line 6 Edit Real Names Mod. Installation is real simple. First you download. It's going to do the download there. The Helix download finished, hx renamed.zip file. Copy them to the correct location on your computer according to which program you want to mod. So if you're modding POD Go Edit, you're going to copy these two files to the correct location. And if you're doing HX Edit, you're going to copy these two files to the correct location. That's it. Simple, right? We're all done. Video's over. 2 minutes long, right? Now, let's dig in a little bit more. I'll show you how I made it happen. So, let's get this out of the way a little bit here. You can see I have my Finder open here. Here's the file that I downloaded. So let's double click that to expand that file. We'll see now I have this folder here, HX Edit Renamed. We have these 4 files in there. So I mentioned over here on the web page, if you're doing POD Go Edit, you want the 2 files that say PG. PG obviously stands for POD Go. That's no big mystery, right? So PG controls and PG model catalog. You can see those 2 files here at the bottom. And if you're doing HX Edit, you would want Helix controls and HX model catalog. Now for the HX stuff, that goes for the Stomp, the HX effects, the Helix Rack, the Helix XT, the entire family. The file is named Helix, but it applies to all of them. We're going to do HX Edit first. Let's see what HX Edit looks like before I apply the mod. So I'll pop open that program here and you'll see it'll load up, it'll connect to my Helix, and it's going to show me, if I look at the distortion menu here, we've got Kinky Boost, Deranged Master, Minotaur, Tima, so on and so forth. So those are the old names that Line 6 gives them. Some of them are pretty cute. They're all pretty mnemonic in terms of being able to remember what they are, but I do really like getting pretty geeky here with this stuff and tweaking things. So let's see how to change that behavior. The 2 files we want, Helix controls and HX model catalog.json. We're basically going to take both of those files, put them in this folder. I'm going to select those 2 files. I'm going to copy them. Copy 2 items. There we go. Now I can go to Applications, Line 6, HX Edit App. So you're going to want your path bar turned on here. If you don't have your path bar turned on, go up to the View menu, come down here, and right about here, I'll hide the path bar. You'll see it goes away. Now on my View menu it says Show Path Bar. So click on Show Path Bar and you'll have that bar. That's important because we need to go to /Applications. That means we want to click on Macintosh HD. Double click that, it'll take us all the way to the top. Now we see Applications right here, so let's double click on Applications. Line 6 is the next thing, so let's double click on Line 6. HX Edit App is the next thing, and here is HX Edit App. Now if you're not showing your extensions, it might just say HX Edit. If you double click that, it's just going to open the program. So don't double click that. This is where we have to do something different. Right click HX Edit and choose Show Package Contents. When we do that, we're now going to see something like this. Now this might be closed for you. It might just show contents. Expand that because the next thing we want is resources. So we can go into resources there, and now we have all these files in here. And you can even see the files that we care about. There's helixcontrols.json, hxmodelcatalog.json. There's even the pilot's guide, that's the PDF manual. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Look around, it's kind of fun. Anyway, what we want to do is go up to our edit menu and hit paste to items. Now when we do that, it's going to say they're already there. We want to replace it. We want to replace the other one as well. Now it asks me for my password because these are in a protected directory, put there by line 6. So we enter our password, and now those two files have been placed in here. helixcontrols.json, you can see, was now updated on April 26th. All the other files are on April 20th, the day that I installed the editor. So we can now open hxedit, and we will see glorious, glorious names of models. This is the Kinky Boost. It now says Exotic EP Booster, Dallas Rangemaster Treble Booster. Now you'll see they're a little bit truncated on the list here on the side. It does show the full name up here, but they do get chopped off a little bit here. That's okay, right? You can still figure out that Maxon SD9 is the hedgehog. So we look at that, sonic distortion. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but on this menu here, we have these 9 little squares. If you click on those 9 little squares, you will zoom in and see much bigger pictures, and you'll be able to see a lot more of the names of things. TS-808 Tube Screamer, we've got the way huge red llama, the Paul Cochran Timmy. Sometimes seeing those kind of pictures is a lot of fun. If you want to go back to the old view, this now looks like a list of items. You click on that, you go back to the list of items. Click on the squares, the 9 squares, you go back to a grid of items. So that's how you can switch back and forth. This works for all the different categories. If we look under modulation, we'll see all the real names of things. The Lightfoot Labs Goat Keeper, that's a fun one to play around with on a rainy day. We've got the ADA flanger, the MXR 117 flanger, the Boss CE1, so on and so forth. So that works for all these categories. Here's our delays. One thing I did is for things like the simple delay, that's just from line 6, I didn't bother to try and come up with some kind of cutesy name for it. It's line 6's own model, and they called it the simple delay, so I just left it called the simple delay. And that's true of all of the things that are original line 6 models. We can check out the reverbs here. Now the reverbs are all line 6 models. They just have their regular names. Take a look at the wah pedals here. See all the original names of the wah pedals. And the fun ones, take a look at the amps. Amps, glorious amps. Look at all those amplifiers. Trainwreck Express, Dr. Z, Route 66. Check out that divided by 13. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Matchless DC 30, Channel 2. All these things in here, you just get to see the real names of things. We've got our cartography here. So many people love the cartographer. There it is there, Moose Boogie Lone Star, Clean Channel, and Drive Channel, so on and so forth. So all of these things get to have their real names in your editor, and it's just a lot of fun. Speaker cabs, same thing. Look at all these speaker cabs in here. Shows you what amp they came from or what manufacturer they came from. So many great things to look at. Anyway, let's get out of hxedit. Let me show you how we mod POD Go edit. So again, POD Go edit, we want the 2 files that start with PG for POD Go. So we want to copy these 2 files. I will right-click them, and I will choose Copy 2 items here. Click that. Now I have those things copied. So remember, you want your path bar showing here. We want to go to Applications. So we go all the way back to Macintosh HD. Applications, line 6. POD Go edit, remember don't double click this one, right click it, choose show package contents. We get to see the package contents. You want to go into the contents folder, the resources folder. Now that you're in here, we see the files we want to replace. So we can say edit, paste 2 items, replace, replace, and remember we need to type in our password. And now both of those files have been replaced. So now we open POD Go edit. It's going to connect to my POD Go, load up all of my presets here, going to render the screen, and we're going to see the same thing. You see my amp is selected. It already shows Fender Twin Reverb, normal channel. Click on our little button here and we get to see all of the amps that are in POD Go, which are, of course, all of the same amps that are in the Helix, but there we are. We've got our bass amps in here. We've got our Marshall JTM 45, matchless DC 30, Fender Deluxe Reverb. Check out our speaker cabinets. Those are all in there. We've got some bass cabinets in here, 212 Silvertone. Click on our EQ. We can see there's the Mesa Boogie Mark IV graphic equalizer, MXR 10 band. Go to an open slot, check out our distortion models. We've got all those things listed there. It's just beautiful. Great job to the Sixers who worked on these icons. They're a lot of fun and I absolutely love them. Anyway, I also put on each of these categories these little mnemonics that show us which ones are mono and which ones are stereo. So the Helix itself, you can choose mono or stereo pretty much for every block. But in the POD Go, some blocks are only mono and some blocks are only stereo. So in order to help myself remember that, I put these little labels on here so that I know that all distortion blocks are mono, all dynamics blocks are mono, all equalizers are stereo, mods are stereo, delays are stereo, reverbs are stereo, pitch effects are mono, filters are stereo. So I put those little mnemonics on there to remind me which ones are stereo, which ones are mono. Those things help me a lot while I'm editing to make sure I don't accidentally collapse my stereo image. So there it is. That's what I had to show you all today. I hope it has been fun for you as much as it has been for me. I really enjoyed doing this and putting it together for all of you. I hope some of you can have fun with it and help me figure out what things need to be renamed or a different way that I could improve it. And certainly if you like to mess around with some coding, you can definitely help contribute to it as well. Just get in touch with me, leave a comment down there. We'll figure out some things you can do to help. If you want to support me, see more videos, or just support my site or my channel, the best way to do that is to just head over to my site, check out my store, buy a preset pack or two if you see something there that might be fun. That's always a good encouragement to me. Thank you for all the positive words you offer me. I hope you're all staying safe out there. Be good to each other, play a lot of rock and roll, and I will see you in the next video.